Hello everyone, today I wanted to do a video about accelerating the rusting process on CORTEN steel planter boxes. This is our 20 by 46 CORTEN steel planter box. So there seems to be two ways to accelerate the rusting process that I've seen on the internet. There is one using muriatic acid, which I traditionally use, and there's also a process by which you can use hydrogen peroxide, salt, and vinegar. So I wanted to demonstrate those two processes today and see what results we get and if there's any difference in the results. Accelerating the rusting process is strictly an aesthetic thing. It does not reduce the amount of rust, or it will not reduce the amount of rust runoff, and will not prevent staining of adjacent material like concrete. And I will try to do an additional video talking about ways to try to mitigate and limit staining on concrete and adjacent materials. But just a strong note that accelerating the rusting process on CORTEN steel is not a process of sealing the metal or preventing rust runoff. It's strictly an aesthetic thing that makes metal rusty. The first method we're going to use, and I'm going to demonstrate, is going to be muriatic acid. So let's talk a second about muriatic acid. This gallon jug is available at Home Depot or Lowe's. I think the cost is about $15. It's really a concrete cleaner. So contractors or homeowners use this product to clean floors. Having said that, it is still an acid, so you should take care to do this process in a ventilated area outside. And what you want to do is to make sure you have goggles, which I purchased for this video, and you want to have gloves and a brush. I have this kind of a funky brush. This is a windshield snow scraper, ice scraper that I just converted for the purposes of this video to apply the acid onto the planter box. I don't recommend putting in a spray bottle because I don't think it's a good idea to have that stuff all up in the air and going airborne. So what I will do is I will dilute the muriatic acid in this jug with 50% water, so 50-50 acid to water ratio, and then I will just brush it on this planter box. And after you brush on the muriatic acid, I would recommend rinsing, applying water to the planter box about 3 times in maybe hour increments. Like so, apply the acid, let it dry, and then rinse it in about an hour, and then repeat 2 or 3 more times. When you apply water, it will activate the acid and kind of speed up the rusting process. And so you should have a rusty planter box probably within 12 hours. Those are too small. So it's been a couple of hours now, and you can see the acid started the oxidation process, and it's etching the metal. So what I'm going to do now is just add some water and kind of hose this planter down, and the acid will activate again, and it's kind of going to speed up the process and get things oxidizing at a faster rate. So I left this planter out last night, overnight, and this is what it looks like in the morning. And it actually rained last night, so it helped to rust the planter and to activate the patina process with the acid and the rain kind of doing our job for us. So we didn't have to spray it as much. So this morning I'm going to do the peroxide patina process. And I'm going to take this planter, set the planter back, and I'm going to put the new planter up here and see how it goes with peroxide. So now we're going to do the peroxide. And from what I've read about peroxide is that you more or less make the mixture and then you spray it on and you keep applying it. Unlike with a muriatic acid where water activates it, so you spray it with rinse with water. With peroxide, you will not do that step. You will just keep spraying the mixture onto the planter box and having it patina that way. So to do this process, we have 60 ounces of hydrogen peroxide. We need 2 ounces of white vinegar and half a tablespoon of salt. So now I'll just mix it all up and see how it goes. So I'm going to shake this around a little bit. I think it's a good idea to let the salt dissolve a little bit. And yeah, it's a good idea also to wear gloves while you do this, and goggles. I don't have gloves. As you saw earlier, my gloves were too small. I think they are my wife's gloves. She has smaller hands. So I'm going to just wear eye goggles and not use gloves, but I strongly recommend that you use gloves. So this planter was left outside overnight, and I have a little bit over a quarter of the bottle left of peroxide vinegar solution. So I'm just going to finish applying this and see where this planter will end up. So we have finished accelerating the patina process on these CORTEN steel planters. To the right of me is the planter box that was patinaed using the peroxide and vinegar salt solution. And to the left of me is the CORTEN steel planter box that I patinaed using the muriatic acid. So I wanted to go over the pros and cons of using these two solutions. I really like the muriatic acid. You only need one application and it seems to work a lot faster. You can see the results right away. You can brush on the solution and activate it with water versus the hydrogen peroxide salt and vinegar solution. You have to keep reapplying it, and the coverage doesn't seem that even here, and it is not super stable. It just seems like the rust that was produced on this peroxide planter box is mostly surface rust, and I would be concerned about some of this rust coming off during a heavy rain. And having said that, I do like the rust on this planter box that was done by muriatic acid. It seems like what the acid does is it cleans the CORTEN steel, and then it actually etches it to where the patina or the rust is a lot more solid on there versus just being on the surface. And finally, let's talk about the appearance of the patina. With muriatic acid, the patina or the rust looks yellow and orange in color. And the patina that developed with using hydrogen peroxide and vinegar and salt solution is more brown and orange color. So then behind me right here is the planter box that's been here for over 10 years, and you can expect these boxes to eventually transition towards this brown solid color. So they will, if you accelerate the patina process for CORTEN steel, eventually it will still look brown like this planter that's been here for over 10 years. So they will start out, the planter boxes will start out more yellow and orange. They will move more towards the brown color, and eventually in about a year or two they will look completely solid brown, regardless if you accelerate the patina process or not. Thank you for watching.